Welcome to the Merton Heritage Alphabet, an A to Z of our borough's colourful past. Our next letter Z is for zebra crossings and links to MP and former Wimbledon resident Leslie Hore-Belisha. Born in Plymouth in 1893, Isaac Leslie Belisha was the only son of a Jewish insurance executive. His father died before Isaac was a year old, and his mother later married Charles Hore, permanent secretary at the Ministry of Pensions. From this point onwards, the youngster referred to himself as Leslie Hore-Belisha. Educated in Paris, Heidelberg, and then St John's College, Oxford, he became president of the Oxford Union. During the First World War, Leslie served with the Royal Fusiliers in France, Flanders, and Salonika, rising to the rank of major in the Royal Army Service Corps. In peacetime, he qualified as a barrister, but by 1922 was starting a career in politics. Although he failed in his bid to represent Plymouth for the Liberal Party, in 1923 he won the seat in the general election and quickly earned recognition for his brilliant speeches in the Commons. During the Depression years, he became a junior minister at the Board of Trade in the 1931 coalition government. In 1934, Hore-Belisha was appointed Minister of Transport. This was a period when cars were becoming more widely available, but speed limits had been removed by the Road Traffic Act of 1930. This resulted in a dramatic increase in accidents. In 1934, there were 7,343 deaths and 231,603 injuries recorded on Britain's roads. 50% of the accidents involved pedestrians and 75% occurred in built-up areas. Leslie had himself been a victim. Shortly after his appointment as minister, he was crossing Camden High Street when a sports car shot down the road, only narrowly avoiding him. This experience prompted him to lead a PR campaign to show people how to use a new range of uncontrolled road crossings. This was just one of several road safety initiatives introduced through Hore-Belisha's Road Traffic Act of 1934. This included a 30-mile-per-hour speed limit for cars in urban areas. Amazingly, far from being welcomed, this provoked outrage from some drivers who saw the regulations as a removal of an Englishman's freedom of the highway. Hore-Belisha also rewrote the highway code and was responsible for two innovations that dramatically reduced road accidents: the driving test and new road safety equipment. The latter consisted of flashing amber globes that topped black and white striped poles at new pedestrian crossings. This new system was particularly effective at night and helped to highlight the new crossings, where pedestrians were given legal priority over vehicles. The public named the safety equipment Belisha beacons in Leslie's honour. Following his success at the Transport Ministry, Hore-Belisha was appointed Secretary of State for War by Neville Chamberlain in 1937. By now, Hitler was German Chancellor and his Nazi forces were threatening neighbouring countries. Hore-Belisha was initially labelled a warmonger by Conservative opponents, but actually fell under the influence of pro-appeasement colleagues and sought to control military expenditure in the UK. He faced much opposition from military chiefs. However, it was the Munich crisis that finally forced him to see that Britain could not avoid a second war. In December 1938, he secured a major budget increase to re-equip the British Army. This included an increase in soldiers' pay and allowances, improved army catering, and the construction of new barracks with showers and recreation rooms. He also allowed married soldiers over the age of 21 to live with their families, insisted upon easier promotion from the ranks to the officer corps, appointed younger generals, and lowered the age of retirement. His policies brought him into conflict with many of the old-school generals who were opposed to the changes. It was during this time that Hore-Belisha moved to Warren Farm on the western edge of Wimbledon Common, where he lived until 1957. He purchased the property as a haven in which to escape the troubles of the War Office, but maintained a direct telephone link to Whitehall, and the property often hosted meetings with political leaders. Although he modernised the farm buildings into a family home, he kept the cows and sold milk to neighbouring dairies. As war grew ever closer, Hore-Belisha felt compelled to institute military conscription, which started in May 1939. However, by 1940, disagreements with fellow MPs, the Army High Command, and some public hostility, encouraged by sympathisers of Oswald Mosley's British Union of Fascists, led to Leslie's dismissal from the War Office. It's said that anti-Semitism prevented him from being offered an equivalent post, and having refused an effective demotion, he resigned from the government. During the Blitz, Leslie's Wimbledon home was badly damaged by two bombs. He lost his cattle and the household servants were called up, but undaunted, he continued to live at Warren Farm. Hore-Belisha briefly served as the Minister for National Insurance in the Conservative government of 1945, now serving as a National Independent MP. However, he lost his seat to Labour's Michael Foot at the next general election. After joining the Conservative Party, he was elected to Westminster City Council in 1947. In 1954, he was made a peer. Although he assumed the title Baron Hore-Belisha of Devonport, he still enjoyed life in Wimbledon, often riding on the common and playing golf. In fact, much of the Warren farmland is now part of the Royal Wimbledon Golf Club. Whilst giving a speech in Reims Town Hall as part of a parliamentary delegation to France in 1957, Hore-Belisha suffered a heart attack and died. He's buried at Hoop Lane Jewish Cemetery in Barnet. If you would like to know more about Merton's heritage, visit our Merton Memories website at www.merton.gov.uk/memories. You can also find more information at Merton Heritage and Local Studies Centre, which is located on the second floor of Morden Library.